Hi Burner, welcome back to Claiborne. Welcome to another edition of Fairy Thursday. So I can tell you that the Fae folk were very excited to learn that this was going to be a weekly edition. The only drama around here was who was going to be featured this time. Well, it wasn't an easy decision, but since Violet just got an upgrade, we thought we would start with her, and she couldn't be more excited. I hope you enjoy the video. So when it comes to the fairies' houses or their operational place of business, and you want to make the little buildings, you can either buy already pre-made, of course, at the Dollar General. You can usually find a little kit with a house about this size for around $5, and it'll come with 3 or 4 other pieces. Or you can use these little terracotta pots. I think that the pots are starting to get kind of expensive. And so where I've been finding mine is when they have those storage unit sales, and people tend to go around to different sales and they'll buy an entire tote of something, sort of sight unseen even. You can find a big stash of these pots sometimes in the back, and you'll find really cute ones with designs on them and whatnot. And you can find all sizes. I usually try to stay with this size or under when it comes to my fairies. Now when it comes to making them, I don't always paint them. As you can see, this one's not painted. This one's natural color. This is the Inkspot. That's a Violet's place of business. And then I just silicone little plants, pieces, beads, different things. I try to make it painted where it has like a roof, where you can see a roof, a defined roof line, such as over here on the thimble foundry. We have a roof line. I try to give something to symbolize a door and a couple of windows. Sometimes I draw the doorknob, and sometimes I find the perfect bead and I glue on the bead. This one actually has 2 windows that are just little gold, I don't know what they are, some sort of appliques, and that represents the windows. And in the Inkspot, I found these. I thought they made really cute windows. And what I really dig is that little black and white doorknob. I thought that was super cute, and that was just a bead. And this is, of course, called the Inkspot. And when it comes to the hole and the top of the pot, I don't really like the hole. I know fairies like dewdrops, but I don't think they like pouring rain in their house. And so I usually try to find something appropriate to put in the top of the hole. And before I ever start making one of these, I pretty much have it in mind what the use is. And then I do my colors and my decos as I just sort of dig through my crafts and find what I have. And then I do spray coat them with a clear glaze. We have a guest in the garden. Little frog came to visit. Perhaps he wanted some ink or a little cup of tea. When it comes to placement of fairies here in the gardens at Claiborne, we usually try to put one fairy in charge of each operation. We have several named gardens here at Claiborne, and there's a fairy over each garden. Violet came highly recommended. We put out an ad in the Fae Folk Beetle, and look what she did with those violets back there. She got those growing fantastic. And so now that we've re-upped the garden, Violet's been moved out here more towards the center of the much bigger garden. She sits atop a little piece of persimmon wood, and she has a nice bed of moss that we keep watered for her. She has this cute little doorway. I think this is a Dollar Tree doorway for $1.25. I've been getting those flower pots I talked about, and I just painted that one that I thought would be very appropriate for Violet. This is another Dollar Tree. And you can see her business back there, the Inkspot. Violet sells purple ink, 3 drops for a penny, to all the other Fae folk. Now, do you think you can tell me why her ink would be purple? Not only does she just have access to all the purple blossoms here in the garden, but purple is a color that the Fae can see, the bees can see, and me as a human, I can also read whatever the Fae folk write, if they write it in purple ink. Now bees, as you know, or probably know, they can't see red. They can see elements of red. They can see wavelengths of red, it's called. They just don't have that, that photo, whatever that thing's called, that lets your brain see certain colors. They don't have that for red, but they can see wavelengths of yellow and orange. But they distinctly see purple and they see ultraviolet. And so Violet makes her ink out of the blossoms of the violet flowers, the chives, the sea hollies, and the allium that grows here. We're also going to put in tulips and crocus this fall in purple so that Violet can continue making her beautiful purple ink for all the other fairies to portal in here and purchase their ink drops for the penny. I love these cute little lights that you can pick up at the Dollar Tree for 97 cents. I think they're super cute in fairy operations because of the cute little flowers on them. And I like to see my gardens lit up at night. Every operation will have a way for the fairies to portal in. So this is Violet's portal, which are just our Wobblo stones. They always have a hole in the middle. This is a broken Wobblo stone, and I just fix it up to be a fairy portal. Of course, that's public transportation, which is always free here at Claiborne. And for that little sense of realism, once the fairies portal in, they can take the bridge and they can either stop off at Violet's tea party or they can follow this little road. I like these beads that are in her stones because they look like more ink drops, and I also used one in the top of her business there. And so I just think that the little stones, which I get at Walmart, I can get them from a creek here, and I probably will start. But the last time I was in the creek, I saw leeches, so I don't know. It's kind of safer to buy them at Walmart. They're kind of expensive though, so it might be worth another trip down to that creek and see if I can find a few handfuls before the leeches find me. Anyway, I like to put the beads on here because, you know, everywhere a fairy steps, something magical happens. And so that leads them straight down from the portal and the bridge and along the road and all the way back to the ink spot where they can purchase their ink. Now, in addition to selling ink, Violet here also, because she's in the middle of a chamomile field basically, she likes to sell chamomile tea. And if he really has a good time with you, sometimes she'll send you with a little tiny chamomile bud as a tiny little token bouquet. So her little tea set, I just found this at one of those sales, just like I've been finding the little flower pots. Isn't that a cute flower pot? I love the ones with the decorations. But the guy just, you know, usually when you find those kinds of sales from the storage units, sometimes they'll just let you make a big pile and then you make them an offer on the pile. And I go through all of those and I just look for things that I know that my fairies would like. For instance, I am so attached to each of my fairies that when I was looking through his unit, I was picking up things and saying, oh, Autumn would like this. Oh, the brownies would like this. Violet would love this. And so I picked up this little set specifically with Violet in mind. I like to make their little signs so that the other fairies, when they portal in, will know how much things cost. We always want to make sure there's no mistake of who lives where. Violet definitely lives here. Look at her little baby chamomile she has going everywhere you see the little rocks. It's a little chamomile starter. And so this cute little set just happened to match a little, that couldn't match better, could it? Look how cute that is. That's one of those Dollar Tree sets. I think you get 3 or 4 of these for $1.25 in a package at Dollar Tree. I like to set things in stone because we get a lot of critters that visit here at night, and they sometimes like to walk through my gardens, which is fine. But if things are kind of set in stone, it helps things from getting drug off when the large critters walk through here at night sometimes. It doesn't happen often, but it can happen. And then I just want you to see her cute little set. If you decide to portal in and order a cup of tea with Violet, I'm sure she'll pour it from this pitcher And this is your cup. I'm a lefty. They don't make left-handed teacups. Oh, so cute. And like I said, I got all of these little things in a store from a storage unit sale. And I just put them in a big pile, and I think I paid $5 for everything the other day. And I came home with 2 bags of fairy goodies. All right, so you all have met Violet, and you know what she does here. She sells the ink. She sells it in purple. She has all purple flowers over here, and she does that so that the bees can read it and the humans can read it. And she also sells little cups of chamomile tea for 5 cents. All right, guys, I'm so glad that you joined me and Violet today. And actually, before I leave, I think I'm going to have myself a little cup of chamomile tea. Sending you out many, many blessings. Love and light.